Okay, second grade, Unit 3 quick practices. Let's get started. In lessons 1 to 9, you're actually using the blue Make a 10 cards. Now, there are several different slides here where Dr. Fusen has given you some directions and has told you kind of the purpose of the cards, how to use the cards, so on and so forth. Now, the intention would be that students would come and they'd close up all of the, or they would cover up all of the title, or the answers, excuse me, and once they would do that, then they could take the hint card and they would move it over the hint. Now, they would quiz themselves if you assigned a slide. So you have a couple of options. Most quick practices are intended to be whole group, choral response, fast-paced. Okay, everyone's doing this together. But in this case, second grade has several examples of quick practices where it really is just about building automaticity with those facts under 20. And so this is where students would have some maybe private time. If they had their real cards in front of them, they would practice making a 10 with each card. If they just knew the answer, they'd put it in one pile. If they had to use a strategy, they'd put it in a second pile. If they didn't know it at all, they could put it in a third pile, and then they would rehearse with that third pile. The teacher would be walking around, and as the teacher's quizzing students, the teacher would pick up the pile of the just know the facts, and they would quiz that student on that pile because the student says they know it. They could take one of the that are the cards from the strategy pile and say, tell me the strategy you used for this, and listen to students explain their mental strategy. Remember, in second grade, it's not just about knowing those answers. It's not just about automatic recall. It's about being able to apply that third level of counting, which is derived strategies, using a sophisticated strategy. So it's not just drilling and killing and just practicing facts all day long. We want that transferable idea or that transferable skill of being able to apply sophisticated strategies. So that's one way. The second way is that students could do it digitally, just like this. If each student had their own slide, you could make copies of the slide, assign it via Google Classroom. You could have everyone on one slide deck and just duplicate the slide 20-some times for each student, and each student would have their own slide and just be practicing this slide deck. The third option would be to do it as a choral response. So I do tend to like to do this as a whole group and work through it with students. Now, I have for you the Make 10 cards as well. For all of you who are in my Math Genius squad, you're going to see those that have a 10 frame and other ways to help make this a number talk. But in the interim, for all of you who have this slide deck, you're going to use the hint card. So you would say, boys and girls would say 14 minus 8, and then they would think, okay, so to make a 10, I would add 8, 9, 10. I'd go 2 up to get to 10, and then I know I have 4 more to get to 14 because 10 and 4 make 14. Altogether, I added up 6. So now they could move the hint card and see if they were right, and they're like, right, I added 2 to make a 10, 4 more to make 14. Altogether, I made 6. So I would say that with students over and over, boys and girls. 7 plus what makes a 10? Class, 3. Keep it holding up. Boys and girls, how many more to make a 10? 6. Boys and girls, if I have 5 and I add that 1 more for the 6, how many did I add up to make to subtract? And they would say 9. Let's do it together. 7 and 3 make a 10, plus 6 more makes 16. Altogether, grab my counter or my pointer here, altogether that makes what, everyone? 9. Let's say it again. 7 and 3 make a 10, add 6 more, make 16. Altogether, we counted up 9. Boys and girls, let's try the other one. So you can see why having these covered would be a good idea. Boys and girls, think about it. How many make a 10? Think about it. Thumbs up when you know. Class, 2. Boys and girls, how many from 10 to 12? Think about it. 2. Boys and girls, how many did you add up all together? Class, 4. Let's say it together. 8 and 2 make a 10, add 2 more makes 12. Altogether, we added 4. Boys and girls, let's try again. 17 minus 8. How many go with 8 to make a 10? Think about it. Class, 2. how many would we add to 10 to get to 17? Class, 7. 7 and 2 make 9. Let's say it together. 8 and 2 make a 10. Add 7 more, get 17. Altogether, we added 9. So that's how I would probably work through it. I want to create some sort of a rhythm and something that kids will say over and over and over again. I've seen this done very well in classrooms where students have the cards and they're not just checking the backs and checking the answer and saying they learned it and they practice it. I actually hear them. They're saying it to themselves, right? So 2 makes a 10, and then I add 4, and that's 6, and they check, 6, I'm right. Okay, so if you train them well and you tell them the expectation is that you are talking through the strategy as you use the cards, they will use these cards more effectively. So when you get to lessons 2 through 9, you can see it's the exact same. All of these cards are the same. They go back and they repeat the slide deck. Have fun.